Hello and welcome to the Codewalker tutorial on this channel. My name is DNP and I am telling you today what features are available for mappers and how the mapping program works. This program has more features than I can say, because the other things are for scenario, path editing and train editing. First of all, let's take a look at the key assignments. Press the T key and spacebar to open two bars. One bar is responsible for the files and entities, and the other for basic settings. Let's start a project. To do this, we click on the first symbol above. Now a project window should open. We can now enter a name there. Then we create a YMap, which is responsible for storing entities and car generators. Let's add a new object by clicking on YMap at the top and then on new entity, and let's change the name of the archetype. This name is the definition of the object itself. The hash value is generated automatically and it's hexadecimal. Let's take a look at the icons in the upper bar. With the first icon, we can create YMaps, projects and other files. With the second symbol, we can open these files again. The next two icons are responsible for saving the files. Then comes the selection tool, as well as motion, rotation and deformation tool. These tools can also be operated with the C or Q buttons to deselect, W to move, E to rotate and R to deform. To select an object, right-click on it. To select multiple objects, press and hold the left control key and right-click to select it. You can select any object on the map, but they are all bound to a special YMap, so that they are not so easily changeable or not changeable at all if you create YMaps for a multiplayer mod. If you want to create a YMap for multiplayer mods, it is not possible to change the size. I only tried it with YMaps. The next two icons are the transformation tool and the snap tool. The transformation tool has two different directions. First, the directions in relation to the world, and second, the directions in relation to the rotation of the object. The snap to ground tool is responsible for orienting itself to the existing game world. This means that objects are automatically fixed to the ground. Let us give an example to illustrate this. The Snap to Grid tool is responsible for consolidating natural numbers. This means that there are no decimal places after the number, so you can create symmetrical interiors. Let's stick to an example. Then, there is the Snap to Grid and Ground tool that can do both things at the same time. There is also an information icon that shows all information of the currently selected object. Then, there is the undo and redo function in the project window that can be called by this icon. The next two symbols show a cube with a plus and a cube with an X. These are used to create new objects or to remove currently selected objects. Then there is the copy and paste symbol, which can also be used with Ctrl C and Ctrl V, but this can be done better by pressing and holding the Shift key and clicking 1 on one of the three direction vectors, because it will be cloned to the same place. The last symbol is the perspective. There are three different types: the 3D, 2D and orthographic perspective. Now, let's go to the project window. Let's take a look at the object itself. There is the position defined in X, Y and Z coordinates, and once the rotation, which is stored in a quaternion rotation. The quaternion rotation is not x, y, z, but x, y, xy, and yx. Let's see how the object behaves. Moving the green arrow changes the second y value. If we move the red arrow, the first one, the x value changes. If we move the blue arrow, the third, the z value changes. However, these three coordinates only refer to one direction, if the object is not rotated or if we activate the position in relation to the world. So, if the world symbol is displayed at the top and not the die symbol, do you understand? Then, we'll continue the rotation. If we move the blue circle, the values 3 and 4 change. If we move the red circle, the values 1 and 4 change. If we move the green circle, the value 2 and value 4 change. But if you want to move 2 circles, all 4 values change. If you enter rotations by hand, you always have to press the normalize button, so that the rotation is really correct. Let's take a look at the pivot tab. This is used to shift the orientation direction of the vectors. That is, if you have an object where the direction vectors are not exactly in the origin of the object, you can activate this box and then move the vectors without the object moving with it. It is also possible to copy this object with the settings. To do this, leave the checkbox checked, then press and hold the Shift key again to clone the object and then deselect the checkbox. That's how it works. Another important point is the dynamic of object. This is stored in the Y-tip of the objects. Normally structures are always static, that means indestructible. To make sure that the building does not collapse, click on the 32 in the right selection box in the project window. This number is responsible for making objects indestructible. Doors, gates and garage doors are standardly dynamic. If you wonder why some objects are not displayed in the Codewalker, it is because you have not activated the DLC. Just click on the right bar and click on Enable DLC. If you have add-on props like the Mapbuilder, click on Enable Mods. Don't forget to close the project window before. Another feature Codewalker offers is the integrated OpenIV. You can export YMaps to XMLs or import YMaps.xmls as YMaps. Don't forget to turn on the editor mode and let it all happen in one RPF. Now we have reached the point where you can save a YMap correctly to make it work. To do this, we click on the save icon or press Ctrl S to save it. Then we click on our YMap and click on Calculate Flags and Calculate Extents to calculate everything, and the map is gonna work. Thank you for watching and good day.